You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. Ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and do best, show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's up, then don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumper where the dame late, punch a train. Post game, big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the ref just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever, Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever.
The game that he had, what is it like, especially in that second half when he just went into realizing how he was being officiated, how he was being defended?
Yeah,
he just kind of took over from there.
You know, it's always fascinating to watch him. You know, I told him in the huddle that he's got a unique way of figuring out the game as he progresses. And he figured out how they were calling the game, and he started to attack a little bit quicker, got off the ball, hit his teammates, and that freed him up too at times. But he's incredible to watch.
And the third quarter of the night had been, started the same way that a couple of these other ones had, but you were able to kind of turn around and lose that quarter by 2. How big were those, especially those last 3 minutes of the third?
I thought that was the resiliency of our team that changed the game for us. Like you said, they started the third quarter on a run, timeout. We collected ourselves and then went out and executed, went on a little run to finish the third quarter. And I thought that kind of went, bled right into our fourth quarter. And we had a really good fourth quarter, had momentum. They're a good team. And, really, really big time, win for our group.
I feel like sometimes plays like this may go under the radar, but you've talked a lot about the team needing to play more physical on defense.
Yeah.
CJ had 3 fouls in the fourth quarter where he doesn't allow the layup, and they missed 2 of those free throws of those 6. But just how important is it to, and for young guys to say, hey, like, you don't want them to take the layup at all. It's not a 3-point play. Try to make
for sure. Points. Those are some of the concepts that we continue to, show on film, get on the floor and walk through and try to work on. And you got to take hard fouls. And in the past, those are aim ones for us. And those that changed the game. Missing those 2 free throws were big for us.
Well, he made 18 threes against them last time, 17 playing that good. Just see those 3 points falling.
It's great. We want to make sure we take those quality threes. And I thought for the most part, our guys did a really good job of finding each other. You look at the stat sheet, 34 assists. That means they're playing together. We're moving, we're driving, we're kicking it, and we're trusting each other.
Bruce Brown kind of struggled, I guess, but tonight he got off to a good start. Really got y'all kind of jump start there. What can you say about his play and how he's, kind of fighting through the adversity?
Yeah, he's doing just that. He's fighting through some of the adversity of not playing up to his level or his standard, but really good to see him come out tonight and get us off to a great start. Putting him in a first group, the mindset was to, he doesn't have to rely on, himself trying to play make every time, but, he's got guys that's going to draw attention. So that freed him up a bit too, but he's a winner. He's a winner. He's a champion. He understands how to get on the floor and make winning plays. He did that tonight.
And Mo Bamba got his first action, did score, had 7 rebounds. What did you think about first impression of him?
He was good. He picked things up pretty quickly, got on the floor and guarded, rebounded the ball. That helped us out, and he'll continue to progress.
Willie, what went
ultimately the decision to finish the game small? Was it Jose had a good game, or you just want to have more shooters out there?
Really, our assistant coaching staff, they came to me and just wanted to give them a different look, especially with Harden and Leonard, playing in pick and rolls, trying to attack our bigs. Let's give them a different look, go small, see if we can attack them offensively, see if we can stay in front of them on the defensive end. And I thought it worked out towards the end of the game.
We're beginning to see a lot of consistent glimpses from Carlo. It seems like he's always in the right place at the right time. Good cut, good movement. What can you say about his game tonight? We
love what we're seeing from Carlos thus far. Again, another one of our young guys that we want to make sure, he gets some minutes on the floor, and he's taking full advantage of it. He's a hard worker. He's always in the gym. He's watching film. It's good to see these guys step on the floor and pick things up pretty quickly. Carlo had some big plays for us tonight.
Coach, this was Z's career high in assists tonight with 12, second triple-double in the span of about 2 weeks. What do you think is the key so far for him just playing such a great all-around game right now?
He's one of, he's a great player. And when he makes his mind up that he's going to attack, there's really nothing teams can do. And he's been doing that lately. Even in limited minutes, he's stepping on the floor with an attack mentality. When he's in high-level conditioning, that like he is, he's really tough to guard, and he's doing it all. He's rebounding, he's defending, he's sharing the basketball with his teammates, and then he's scoring for us. So when he's playing at a level like this, he's unguardable.
Well, I think it's the second time in about a week or so that Z's finished with over 32 minutes. Is he having a little bit more runway now?
Yeah, just a little bit. We still want to, monitor his play, his minutes, but we're moving him along gradually and slowly.
Well, what's it like to see Z play with so much, he's going, shows a lot of emotion. You tell the house crowd up.
Oh, yeah. It fuels our team. It fuels his teammates, and then our crowd, the energy that they bring when they see Z play the way he does. Huge blocks, huge rebounds. He split a double team, went down a lane and finished with a monster dunk. So those type of energy plays, it really gets us going.
Was his block as big as any play he had tonight?
That was a huge block. I thought he got fouled, didn't complain. Next play mentality. He goes down the floor, big time block. Huge play for us. All right. Thank you, guys.
All right. For all things Pelicans, now tuned to the Pelican Postgame Report. Much love to the fan. Appreciate y'all being in this live, man. Willie Green, a very talkative Willie Green on tonight's PPR, man. But Pels, Zion shines with triple-double as Pels sail past Clippers. 127 to 120. It was a fun game. I kind of, it was a fun game. The Pelicans came out with a lot of energy. They had a little fall off, got a little close. They held on to the rope and ultimately won the game. So shout out to you guys for being in the stream. Much love to you all. Y'all do me a service by please feel free to hit the like button and the share button as we up in this thing. Pels get the victory. They break a 4-game slide by beating the Clips, and it's very positive. So anyway, we're in this thing. Shout out to you. We got Lex in here as well. Shout out to Lex. How you doing tonight?
Hey, what's up with you?
It's a win tonight, Lex. The Pels get their 18th win of the season. Aren't you really ecstatic about that? 18-48 are the Pelicans tonight. They got the dub tonight.
Well,
triple-double.
After you said the dub and then you said the record, it's like good feelings count. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but yeah, I mean, it was a good win. Well, it was a unique win. I'll say that.
How so? What you mean a unique win? What was so unique about it? Like you only got 18 of them for the entire year.
Yeah, I know. This game, I know the Pelicans they won, but this game was a struggle to watch.
Was it?
No, it was. It was a struggle. Like just looking at a lot of things that was going on out there. You saw all those collection of turnovers in the
Yeah.
closing of the game, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was looking very familiar. You know what I'm saying? Like the energy, I felt like the energy was okay in the first half, but I felt like for both teams, it was I'm gonna keep it real. The Clippers were not playing for real in the first half. Okay. The Clippers actually have one of the top defenses in the league, like right now.
Think they were playing down to the Pelicans?
Yes, what we saw in the second half looked more like the Clippers because I've seen their games. So I just want everybody to understand like the Clippers were not really because they were down like double digits.
Hmm.
And the Pelicans weren't really like doing anything unique. I felt like their energy was probably the normal energy. I felt like the Clippers just were not playing up to what they're capable. And clearly you saw the differences. Okay. If you see the difference between the first half for the Clippers and the second half, it was totally different. They turned up the defense. And you saw that because there was a lot of turnovers by the Pelicans. They were really forcing, they were ambushing, they had a quick first step. Zion, man, look, Zion is cold. We know that this guy right here, man. I just feel like it's kind of the same situation as Trey Murphy. You know, I feel like personnel had to be moved in order for him to really have the opportunity to like, hey, like this is what I can do. Um, and it's kind of the same thing here. I think there's still more to be done, but I'm glad Zion got a triple double. That's very exciting. But I'm looking at how he got that triple double. Man, it was a struggle, man. Like he had to work so hard to make things happen. And I say that, and I'm not trying to be like negative or anything. I just want everybody to take this the right way. Golly, if Zion could get just a better coach, man, life would have been so like with him doing what he did, not really having a coach to call plays, especially when they started the double team, they started bum rushing. The same thing with Trey Murphy. Man, that stuff matters. That opens up like your star player's game even more, where it's like it doesn't have to be a struggle. Like Zion really had to fight, like as far as through obviously through contact, really attacking the basket. I mean, there was a lot of fouls that were missed. A lot of fouls that were missed. The spacing, like throughout the game was like, golly. I mean, can you place these guys where they need to be? Like when you call a timeout, like just go over the spacing, like where guys need to be at. You know, so Zion has solid passing lanes to get the ball to guys, or guys know when to move out. Now I think there was quite a few times where Zion had to, really push the issue on, telling, hey, go through, dog, you need to go through. And guys like, they were kind of slow. There was a few times again where he had his man pinned, but there was too much dribbling. They missed that window. It's like things like that. Those are things that have been constant that the team has been having problems with. And it's just, the game could be so much easier. You know what I'm saying? Like this stuff is all great, but just think, this was all in the efforts of what these players are able to do. It wasn't because of coaching. And it's a constant reminder, like, golly, man, that's going to really get this team over the hump. It's going to get this team over the hump. because you can see it when there's no coaching involved, when there's no creativity, when there's no plays. I don't know if you saw in that fourth quarter, where were the plays when things got rocky, when things got tough? Even in the third, when the Clippers tied the game at 75. Those plays, like, that's when that's when you have to step in and help your team. And I just felt like, again, it's total reliance on the talent. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I want everybody to understand what I'm saying, because I like to look at everything in its entirety. I want to look at everything in its entirety. And it's like, man, if you had that extra IQ, that outside looking in, which is the coach, to really open things up for your players, it makes a huge difference. It makes a heck of a difference. And I hope that that's not going over anybody's head. I hope I'm making sense to everybody, because I love the fact that in that second half, the Pelicans fought. You saw that effort. You really saw that energy. In the first half, I don't really feel like it was there. I kind of feel like a team, once they level up on their energy, it's almost like the Pelicans, they try to follow that. I would love to see the Pelicans put that pressure on the opponent teams first. Not you follow, you lead, you set the tone, you set the energy level. And have the other team on their heels, because a lot of times it's the other team that's setting that bar. It's not the Pelicans.
Right. I agree with everything you just said about the coaching, and you talk about the Pelicans setting the pace, the tempo. That they most certainly do not have that, because that is not the overall mindset of this team. This team, with Willie Green, they're a non-aggressive team. You have a coach that doesn't even, he preaches this, it's neutralism type thing. They don't. It's just very weird, that to see, but you can see the team's talent. They want to, float in that direction. They want to go in that direction of ferocity and aggression. And then you have this governor, and I don't mean a guy. I mean like a governor on a diesel truck, slowing them down every time they get up there. With this non-aggressive verbiage, very weak and passive style of thought process by Willie Green. But very powerful. Let's kind of jump into the stats. But they are sponsored tonight by, CJ McCollum led the effort in 23 points, but it really was Zion Williamson was the player of the game with a triple-double for him. But let's hit the team stats, and then we'll go individual, and then we'll preview the next matchup. And we still will bounce back and forth to the press conference, which is currently still live. And when somebody pops up there, more than likely we'll probably hear from Trey or CJ or whatever. But anyway, tonight's matchup, Pels shot 55.3% from the field. It was 17 to 31 there. They shot, they were 54% from downtown. It was 17 of 31 from downtown. They were 47 of 85 from the field for 55%. Pelicans had 17 3-pointers tonight for 55%. It was 16 of 18 from the foul line for almost 89%. So those are really great numbers there. And of course, the Clippers, 46 of 93 for almost 50%. They were 14 of 43 for 32.6 and 14 of 18 from the foul line for almost 78%. Pelicans almost 50 rebounds tonight, 46 to 34 right there. The assist game was tied up 34. All Pelicans kind of moving the ball. The steal game was Clippers 10-7, and block game was Clippers 8-7. Pelicans turned the ball over 19 times, gave up 25 points off 19 turnovers. Clips 11 turnovers, 19 points off of those 11 turnovers. Pels did beat them in the fast break game, 18 to 15, and the points in the paint, 60 to 58 in the matchup. They had a double-digit lead going into the halftime period, and it definitely shrunk because, like you said, the Clippers kind of turned it up for them. But nevertheless, Zion Williamson was doing his thing for Ross. He had a triple-double in 33 minutes of action. That's right. That's right, family. He played 33 minutes tonight. 28 minutes is usually where they stop him at and bring him to the bench. They played 33 minutes tonight, and this is not a medical decision to allow him. This is David Griffin operating. And doing this, like I keep telling y'all, and he started getting bad press, and I'm gonna bounce back to the statistics momentarily, but Rod Walker, Jeff Duncan, and some writers, they had this article, and I kind of tell y'all to go to timespayanola.com and read it, where he wrote a really searing and really good packed article, basically going at him, saying the Pelicans are doing the supporters a disservice sitting Zion Williamson on home games of backs-to-backs. And he really did a really good job in talking about this in that article. And a lot of people, this really picked up some smoke on the Pelicans. They seen that because we've talked about it. Why is he not playing back-to-backs? He's obviously healthy. What the hell are you doing? This is not no medical decision. This that stinking dead octopus up there doing that. But anyway, you see him break 3, and they didn't even announce that. Not to my knowledge, I didn't get alert that they were going to allow him to play over 30 minutes tonight. But he played 33 minutes of action, gave him a triple-double, 22 points, 12 assists, and 10 rebounds, 8 of 13 from the field and 6 of 6 from the foul line when he did get an opportunity to get to the foul line. 23 from C.J. McCollum in 33 minutes of action. C.J. had 7 assists with 3 rebounds to go along with that. He was plus 8. Trey Murphy, the third, 21 points in 36 minutes. He was 3 of 7 from the field. CJ was 5 of 9 from downtown, by the way. But Trey finished with 21 points, 2 assists, 3 assists, 2 steals, 3 assists, and 4 boards. And then, of course, off the bench, we've seen Karlo Mekovic come in 20 minutes, had 15 points, 4 boards, 2 blocks, 14 from Jose Alvarado in 25 minutes of action, 5 of 6 from the field. He's still hot from downtown, 4 of 5. 14 points, 2 steals, 4 assists for him, 11 from Jordan Hawkins in 22 minutes of action. He was plus 16. Carlo was plus 10 as well. And of course, we've seen Mo Bamba. Mo Bamba was signed to a 10-day contract with the Pelicans. He came in for 15 minutes and grabbed 7 rebounds and a block, and he was plus 2 off the bench. So Mo Bamba spells bad news for Jeremy Robinson Earl, to be honest with you. But outside of that, the Pelicans did a wonderful job in fighting back to get to make things pop and shake. Okay, Lex, what you were saying?
I was saying not necessarily. It just means JRE will be playing his true position.
Which is what, riding the bench?
For right now, that's what it is. But JRE is not a 5. And really, I don't feel like he's really a 4 either. Maybe in the small ball, but I think really he probably needs to be at the 3, maybe the 3 and 4, depending on matchups and stuff. But he definitely doesn't need to be at a 5. Right now, the Pelicans need to be more dialed in on getting length and size.
Seems to be that's the motion though, Lex.
That's a huge trend around the league, just in case everybody didn't know.
Old school stuff. They're going back to what it was.
Well, mobility, the big, like the size has mobility. That's what you're seeing, and look at the Cavs. You know what I'm saying? They're prime example. You look at the Celtics. They have a lot of length and two-way players, size, in really every position. So that's just what needs to transpire. They need to understand, like, look, how are we going to counter? Because you have to keep up with how the league is changing so that you know how to change with it.
Change.
Okay.
Pelicans.
Look, I know I'm speaking like at a higher intelligence of basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Wins.
It really does. They really do need to get with the program. All right, come on, Big Q, man. You look. This is for it. Look. That's why you gotta weed out all. You have to weed out all the people that don't share that basketball intelligence, because that is this organization's problem.
Mm. Well, Lex, you're absolutely right. I think this was a pretty interesting game today, but like you say, a lot of that is at points you can see the coaching is warranted. Willie Green has not improved
He
as a head
hasn't.
coach this year.
That
He
dude
really
is
hasn't.
stagnant as I
He
don't know
really
what.
hasn't improved. I got to be real because you give somebody an opportunity to see what they can do, and really in the fourth year you're supposed to see real development from him as a head coach. And when you see matchups like this in clutch time, that's when the coaching is supposed to be apparent to dial up the correct plays, and not only that, but also making sure guys orchestrate like they're supposed to. And you see at times the game almost got out of their hands. The Clippers missed free throws down the stretch.
Mhm.
Wide open 3-pointer by James Harden. He missed that. So imagine if the free throws were hit and the 3-pointer went down. Things could have
Mhm.
got a little dastardly for the Pelicans tonight. So
Yeah. I mean,
rightfully.
yeah, I mean, and you have to think about that. The Clippers did miss shots. They missed shots that they would normally make. They missed free throws down the stretch, which, for the most part, they would make those free throws. And when you look at that stuff, it's like, man, we have to have better counter punches because defensively, they were making things happen. They gave themselves a chance to 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 take the lead, because they were right there. They weren't going anywhere. Obviously, because of the turnovers, CJ had those fouls. I would have rather him try to, at least try to steal it or deflect the ball or something like that. But uh, he always does that. I mean, because obviously he's not gonna stop anyone defensively 9 times out of 10. So he usually goes straight to the foul. But I'm just looking at the fact when the Clippers were very well in this game. And you could tell that the Pelicans were all out of sorts at different moments. They really were. And it's those moments where it's like, hey, let's run this play right here. He didn't do that at all. It's almost like he left it up to the team, hey, figure it out. And that seems to be his answer to everything.
Oh
You
yeah.
guys figure it out. And that's a problem for me. As a coach, you got to help your team. You got to help I don't care if it's elementary or pro level. Dude, set up a play to help your team. And I'm not talking about them stupid handoffs. They
That's
were
it.
doing those handoffs, and guess
That's
what?
that's
They
the
were
core
not
of the offense, the
they
handoffs.
they were not calling a lot of the contact, which was really bad. It's like, dude, you can't grab a dude's arm and hug them when you're coming off a screen. I know you're trying to fight over a screen, but you can't do that when you're fighting over a screen. You can't do that.
Hold on, Lex. Let's hear from CJ after the win. I'm pretty sure he'll have a lot to say. Here we go.
From
Yeah, I know.
standpoint of how he's impacting the game in a multitude of ways. Obviously, you seen the chase down block defensively. You seen a couple blocks, rebounds, pushing tempo. The amount of attention he commands, on the offensive end. They're always loading up. I think I've seen the stats since 2000, and whenever he came into the league, he's by far the most double team, player in the league. They shift the defenses and really build the defenses around trying to contain him each night. And some teams are better than others at being physical. And the Clippers are one of the more physical teams in the league, and he still was able to get a triple double and leave his imprint on the game tonight.
We're really going to talk about this team's resiliency. I mean, y'all could have easily laid down, I guess, when the Clippers kind of came back, but y'all keep fighting. What does it say about this team?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many games left, but we got to compete and give ourselves our best chance of, executing, our best chance of, playing at a high level and trying to execute the game plans to get ready for next season. Going in, you get a game plan and you kind of change things as the game kind of progresses. You make adjustments, and I think for us, it's just about understanding the moment, understanding each game is going to be different. There's going to be ebbs and flows, but we got to be able to try to execute the game plan the coaches give us.
CJ, what are you seeing kind of new from Zion, if that's the word you use, over say the last maybe month or so? Once he's gotten comfortable being back now from that hamstring strain.
Better motor. Aggressiveness early on. You heard him. Aggressiveness early on in the games. This will be my last question. And I think he, from a preparation standpoint, he's preparing. He got his work in, after shoot around today, working on the stuff that he's going to see, driving to the basket, the pull-ups. So finish with his right hand today. He's using his right hand, and obviously the ability to get the defense to shift and then make the right play when they're loaded up. I think you're seeing the physical ability has always been there, but I think mentally he's taking the next step.
All right, thank you for your time, CJ.
You heard the boss. You heard the boss.
Yeah, family get home too.
All right, that's CJ McCullough, man. That was actually pretty good. They got him out of there pretty quick.
Oh, that's
And here goes Zion.
and told him to get up and get up.
You heard the boss. Here we go.
CJ said about you. What does that mean to you just to get that?
It means a lot. Since CJ has been here, he's been a great vet to me. Always giving me great wisdom. So hearing him say that, it does mean a lot.
Just talk about your triple-double, second one in 2 weeks, and just kind of, I guess, got.
I didn't even realize I had it until after the game. I was just so locked in because I feel like my first half was a bit rough. But second half, my teammates and coaches were just, they were in my ear, and it was just, it's time to get to it.
Yeah, Z, it really looked like he did not want to lose this game, especially down the stretch, like maybe the whole fourth quarter. What really inspired you to do that?
Like I said, that first half just felt rough. Even started the third, I wasn't really trying to let officiating take me out of my game. So once I found that rhythm, just kind of got in that zone. Like, nah, I come too far to lose this game.
What's that process been like? Because we all know you don't get all the calls that you probably think you should get out there. It's always a constant battle. How do you overcome that to where you can maybe use it even to fuel yourself?
It is very frustrating at some points because sometimes I get frustrated about the no call because when you don't call it, the other team goes down, get a dunk, a three, and for me, that's momentum in the game. So that's when my frustration kicks in. But like I said, when I got teammates and coaches that are always, just giving me confidence and telling me to be myself, it just helped me stay in the zone.
It's one of your favorite plays now because it seems like it's becoming that anyways, a chase down block.
I told Dunn that I said it was goaltend, but maybe it was a makeup for some of them fouls they didn't call.
Yeah, it was.
Son, do you feel that the Clippers underestimated you guys and that the coach said you guys were the hungrier team? What are your thoughts?
No, I wouldn't say they underestimated us. They're a great team. They got a lot of, great pros over there. So I wouldn't say they underestimated us. I think they come into each game and take it very serious. But I would agree that we were the hungry team. There were stints where it didn't look like it or feel like it, but overall, I think we were the hungrier team.
How do you build upon this momentous win?
Just being consistent. And, taking away some of those turnovers and some of those subtle mistakes that when we are up 20-18, the lead don't get cut to 8 or they take the lead, just, maintaining the lead the right way.
How fun is it playing with a lot of emotion, show a lot of emotion?
Like I said, it was just getting into that zone, especially, being able to find my teammates, them hit shots, seeing them get going. Like, that do a lot for me. When I see my teammates going, it does a lot for me.
Zion, speaking of seeing your teammates going and stuff, this was your career high in assists, 12 assists, in addition to the second triple-double of your career, both in, the past 2 weeks. Do you feel like this is the best all-around basketball you played in your career?
I'm not sure. I don't know if that is really up for me to decide. I will say, though, this is the best I felt offensively and defensively.
I realize team goals haven't necessarily panned out this year. But, you're out there. I think you had 10, 5, and 5 in the fourth. The people who showed up looked delighted to see it. You obviously had a lot of emotion. Could you just kind of, take us through how you see the significance of this final stretch and the way you're playing now, just as it relates to the future of your career, maybe?
I think this when it comes down to, being a pro and what you want to get out of it. And we talked about it as a team. The season hasn't gone the way we wanted it to, but that don't mean we can't build into something next year, build into better habits. Like I said, in terms of consistency, like when we take a lead, maintaining and not just being front runners, how we lock into scouting report, how we just go about being an overall team, just building onto that. And, just that when the summer comes, we stick together. And by the time the season starts, we're locked in and we're ready to go.
And it seems like you're physically as good as you've been maybe since you got here. I'm not sure. I heard on the radio 264 or something. Can you comment on any of that?
I guess I'm a dude what I've been doing my whole career. I let the media have fun with it. You guys have a great night.
All right, Zion Williamson, y'all. And there's Zion Williamson breaking it down. Lex, I got to say about Zion, man, I think most certainly Zion Williamson looks the best that I've seen him since he's been here. That's for certain. His weight's down. He moves very well. Everything, and it just goes to show. So in terms of what I've seen, he says that's not up for him to say. Well, I said, hell yeah, he looks a lot better now than he did in previous previous seasons. So I mean, fluid, in shape, just doing his damn thing, and it shows on the floor. Triple-double tonight, second of his career? More on the way.
You know what? For some reason, I have a hard time believing that. I kind of feel like he's had a triple-double before. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess, they keep record of all that stuff, but it just doesn't seem like these are like his first few triple doubles to me. It just doesn't.
Yeah, it seems kind of with everything that he's done since he's been here, but now, I mean, we don't have the conflict of who is the team behind. For the first time, you see Brandon Ingram's no longer here; he's gone. You see Trey Murphy. Trey Murphy comes into fruition. How he's playing, and then of course all the other guys there. So that confidence is growing from what you see with Zion Williamson. He's being a better passer of the ball, seeing the floor, contributing to the fact that he's in shape. And from our perspective, from covering Zion since he's been here, the media has absolutely no smoke for Zion Williamson now. In previous years, they would have all these jokes about food and all this kind of stuff. And of course, Zion didn't help himself. He goes on Gilbert Arenas and kind of tells such and such and all this. And the media just uses that against him. But they have no smoke for none of his physical health this year, which is very refreshing. And you can see it all happening on the floor for the Pelicans. So, like I said, man, I think this is the best that I've seen him in shape since he's been in the Pelican uniform, to be honest with you. And I'm pretty sure the family out there would probably agree with me as well. So anyway, with that being said, let's pivot to the preview of the next matchup, Lex. This is on Thursday, the Orlando Magic and the Pelicans. They'll finish out the third of the home game slide for the Pelicans. Before they hit the road again. The Magic are 30-36. They haven't been playing very well. They've won 2 of the last 9 games. So it's not been looking pretty good for Orlando, but Orlando is a team that is, as of the last several years, have been a team that has a way of knocking the Pelicans upside the head. So the matchup indicator indicates that they believe that will be the case indeed. So how does this play? And we know Zion Williamson will be in this game because this is not a back-to-back matchup. So you'll see him play. And hopefully they'll keep allowing him to play above the restriction, which means he played 33 minutes tonight, which would signify that restriction should be over with when you allow that to happen. So anyway, you see the Magic depth chart right here: Cole Anthony, KCP, Wagner, Ben Caro, and all these other guys are here. Lex, what do you think about the matchup here? There's Orlando, who they beat the Pelicans in the previous matchup. What's your thoughts on the Pelicans matchup against Orlando?
This should be a really good game. I think talent wise, I feel like the Pelicans do have more talent than this team, but that's not to knock the talent that Orlando has on their team, because they also have a better coach. And so when you look at that, because that's a reason why they've had the Pelicans number for a little bit. Just being able, as far as just different counters, for different situations, they've been able to impose the will and really get over the hump. I mean, really, again, we'll be truly reliant on Zion and Trey Murphy to really do what they do, and then obviously CJ, he's gonna have to do his part as well. Because Zion is gonna have that gravity, but I think with Banchero, I think this is one of Zion's probably better matchups. I just think Banchero, he does a lot of single coverage on Zion. I don't think there'll be a whole lot, so it'll be interesting because obviously with Banchero, wait, he's 6'10". Yeah, I mean he's 6'10". He's very mobile. Now he doesn't have like the girth like Zion does, but in some ways their games are can be similar when Paolo is attacking the basket. But again, I think with Zion and his defensive prowess, I think Zion has a little bit more prowess on the defensive end than Paolo does. But it's one of the better matchups. It's definitely one of the better matchups. It'll be interesting. I mean, I feel like with this game, it could kind of go either way. It can kind of go either way. I think is Kelly Olynyk, is he gonna be playing on that day?
I'm not sure. Yeah, he should be good because all it was rest. They just gave him a rest day, so he should
Okay.
be back.
Kelly Olynyk makes a huge difference playing in that 4 spot. He really does. I mean, and I keep saying this, like, that dude, his IQ is just really something. He knows how to pass to Zion in the post, which says a lot because a lot of the guys, I mean, even Jose, he missed a lot of opportunities. And sometimes CJ and Trey Murphy do as well. It's nice to see a guy like Kelly to come in and he knows how to get that ball down to Zion when he has his man pin. And it's crazy because it took picking up someone like Kelly to do that. I really like their chemistry. Because they're both high IQ, and Kelly, I mean, he studies like very quickly. Okay, I can see what you're trying to do. I got you. You know what I'm saying? That's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? Because this team needs that when you have someone like a Willie Green on the sidelines. You have to have players like that know where the ball needs to go, how to deceive the defense into thinking that you're doing something, but you're really doing something else. He does that perfectly, and he's unorthodox. So when you couple all those 3 things together, it's nice to see, the things that he does out there. I think their chemistry is great. And I also want to point out that Makovich and Zion, I really like their chemistry. Like on tonight, the way Makovich, like when Zion went to one side when he was attacking, Makovich was on that side. When he saw that, he moved to the other side to get into that dunker spot. Those are just like basic details. You know what I'm saying? Like that are there. And he's ready to, if Zion dumps the ball down to him, he's ready to put the ball in the hole. Those are like easy plays that the Pelicans can always get. But because Zion has that much gravity, he attracts that much attention where guys are going to get those type of opportunities. It's like we don't have to make the game hard shooting contested shots. You just got to be ready. Study and understand where Zion's moving. Get into the on the opposite side. Be ready to catch the ball. And keep the ball high. Don't bring it down. Keep the ball high because that's what they teach you in like middle school, right? And just go up and go up strong. Go up with intent. And, those opportunities are definitely just going to be there. But, yeah, I like their chemistry and Kelly Olynyk. So that should make a huge difference in the game.
Yeah.
Being in the lineup.
Yeah, I think you're right about Kelly and what he's been since he's been here. I've been very impressed with his game. To be honest with you, I'm very pleased that he has an extra year on his contract. Bruce Brown does have a very good rough temperament that I like that we want to have for the Pelicans off the bench, and both those players fit what we got going on. Zion Williamson is learning how to really because he knows how to, but it's another level of his understanding now that he's reaching from understanding to higher levels of understanding his gravity, and not only just looking to score for himself, but create opportunities for other people. He really is noticing that when he's playing like this and really focusing on this, getting these triple doubles. That is something he touched on, and now he just has a taste for it, and he found and in his head, he's found the key. Oh, that's how you do it. So he's now facilitating and getting everybody involved and really understanding what he is, the power of what he brings to the court and for the team. So you see guys really just thriving off of that. So I absolutely agree on that. That's why I'm saying this team is a juggernaut. If he breaks the minute restriction, then they're going to pick up some wins heading for the rest of the season. I think they got like 17 games or whatever it is remaining in the season. If he's playing above 30 minutes a night, that changes things. If he's allowed to play on back-to-backs, and I don't think we got a ton of back-to-backs remaining, but if he's allowed to play, they're going to pick up some wins, because I really do think the minute restriction is an attempt to govern what he's doing, and that also helped to facilitate the tanking of what they got going
on. Just switch those around. It's the tanking first.
Yes.
Because that minute restriction has been hurting. It's like, dog, he was in a rhythm. He had momentum, and you took him out to honor the minute restriction. You know what I'm saying? That definitely plays into it, because you can tell.
It's very clear.
You can really tell, because it's like as soon as he goes out, it's like, golly, man. Like Zion was on a roll. He had, he had it going. And again, Pelicans just throwing a wrench in that momentum. And it's not just on the tank. We've seen that when they had the 49 wins. We saw that a lot when he had it going. And again, they would just take him out. This isn't the first time that they've done some junk like this, but it's just really bad because obviously the season, it doesn't look so great. And so when you look at the minute restriction, it's like, hey, we can use this for our advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. And the only thing is, when Zion gets going, he's not going to want to hit it. These guys are going to want to win. So it's going to be interesting.
And that's a good thing. We want them to have that mentality, because this organization already has that losing mentality. And it's really loud and clear. And I've said many a times, look, I understand the business part as far as tanking to get a top draft pick. I get all that. but I'm never gonna be dialed into losing. You know what I'm saying? Look, we don't get up on here. You know what I'm saying? I always want to talk about this team and everything that's wrong with it and stuff. You know, I mean, we've been doing that. I mean, we see a lot of things that are wrong. And really, I think Zion said it in his interview. Like right now, yes, you know, the season has not gone the way that they want them to. And I'm looking at this from the player's point of view. And mainly, obviously, Zion. But it's like, look, right now is the time to work out all the kinks. Right now is the time to find all the answers, to find the identity, to get into a rhythm, to start building winning habits. Did you all hear him say that? Because that's what stuck out really hard to me. And that's what I was alluding to as well. Like right now is the time to get ready for next season. Not waiting until the off season to get ready, but doing that now. And that's why I was saying, like, look, you know, the Pelicans they're not going to the play-in. They're not going to the playoffs. We all know that. Now, I guess it's like you're battling all the bad teams, battling against all the bad teams to get a top draft pick. But regardless of that, I kind of feel like, look, this is the time, and I know it's late in the game, obviously, because they should have did it earlier. They should have got rid of both Griff and Green. I'm not letting that go. Probably more so getting rid of Griff because I really wouldn't want him to hire the next coach. I mean, and I asked that question, do we really want Griff to hire the next coach if you get rid of Willie Green? I think the answer for everybody is no. So if you get rid of Griff, guess what? That person right there is going to bring in who they want to be the coach. So that naturally gets rid of Willie Green because we know that he's not that guy. We know that.
Well, Lex, I appreciate you because you keep putting that out there. And we at least one or two of these guys, or if not both, I agree with you. And I think we can hire from like we talked about this whole thing with Willie had this switch all thing and this philosophy of the Golden State Warriors. I think the more steadier force should be the Boston Celtics philosophy. And that's where I would take the new VP from and the new coach from. Though that it's fire both these guys and hire two guys from that, Sam Cassell as the coach and whoever's the assistant vice president of basketball operations is from the Boston Celtics, and bring them over to the Pelicans. And then you will see some basketball, some respectable basketball happen here.
Great brand of product, a good brand of product. And that's what supporters want. Because it's like you still see a lot of the same things. And like Zion said, this is the time to build something different going into next season. And I'm glad he said those things because it's true. We talk about this all the time, BQ. We talk about it all the time.
We do.
And that's a great mentality to have right now in this bum season, going into the off season, going into next season, because I definitely want to see this whole team. This whole team needs to have a mean chip on their shoulder. Can we see that? Like everybody needs to be pissed off. Everybody does. Like, and I think supporters have been waiting for that. Like, not coming out on this season being all laxed and, oh yeah, everybody's healthy. No, y'all need to be upset. Be upset about, look, the coaching. Be upset about the losses. Be upset about the disrespect. from the media. TNT just got rid of, they were actually supposed to be on TNT tonight. Do you all know that?
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah. But they changed the schedule like some days ago. That's disrespect right there. And I understand why, because obviously, who wants to talk about the Pelicans right now? It really hasn't been the best brand of basketball. It hasn't been a good product.
Right.
And that's whether you have the right guys on the floor or G leaguers on the floor. The product has not been there. And you can just tell. And then not knowing, hey, are they playing Zion or not? Stuff like that. You can see why the disrespect is there. But I really would love for this team, especially the players, because we don't know what's going to go down as far as with the coaching and everything. But with the players, with Zion, I know on media day, he said, going into the season playing with a vengeance. And obviously he wasn't able to show that. But if he can just give that taste now and then grow on that vengeance, because I still want the vengeance. Zion, look, hey dog, please. We need the vengeance. And I know he said it's not towards anybody in the league, but just for himself. Yeah. You need that vengeance for yourself, buddy. Because let me tell you something, and I've said this before, I don't feel like Zion's career has started. I really don't. I feel like, it's been a struggle just to see him play, whether he's healthy or not, whether he's available or not. Because even when he was available last season, hey man, remember when he said he had to take a back seat? Y'all remember that? So we still were not seeing him. Ain't that crazy?
I remember that junk.
He was available for 70 games. And that's why I keep saying that, whether he's healthy or not, whether he's available or not, we're not seeing Zion. And that's all we've ever wanted since he's been drafted into the league. To see him play consistently for some games. And man, let me tell you something. You talking about he's been playing between 24 and 28 minutes, right? With this minute restriction.
Yeah.
Do you know that more of these games than not, if you don't have that minute restriction and you're allowing Zion to play at least 32, maybe 35 minutes, if it warrants that, we're winning those games.
Right. Yeah, that's no doubt about that. I mean, you're absolutely right. And that's what some of even the media people that were hardcore apologists for the Pelicans, they're starting to bend and turn toward what's been consistently put out there by us and others. Pretty much us just blasting the Pelicans for all of this foolishness and the lies and the nonsense.
What they're doing is wrong.
I don't play that bullshit, man, with them people,
Flat out
man. I'm
wrong.
gonna tell the truth regardless, man. But yeah, it's a very interesting thing because with the minute restriction appearing to be done, like I said, this is the first time in a while we've seen him eclipse 30 minutes. He played 33 minutes tonight, had a triple double. So we'll see what it looks like in the next matchup against Orlando because he's playing on a level right now where it's if you're not pulling them out of these games, like you say, I agree, they picking up wins, and that's something that that bald head bastard Griffin don't want to happen. He wants them to go in the opposite direction. He wants to lose because he perceives it as an opportunity.
But they've been doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But that early on, that's a whole nother discussion because I don't think that's what they were doing early on. I thought it was just strictly incompetent. But the thing is, regardless of however you finish the season with, if you don't change your coach at the top, it don't mean anything because this guy is not establishing identity. The team doesn't play with a consistent ferocity, And then at the end of these games in clutch time, the team almost fumbles and bumbles and
Yeah,
lose
and
some
you
of these
saw that.
games
You
because they're
saw
not
that
prepared.
tonight,
Yeah,
man.
I seen that. That's what I was saying about the Clippers.
That was a struggle.
The Clippers got it close. And
Yeah, they did.
if it wasn't for them missing free throws and Harden missed a wide open 3-pointer, this could have been a
Yeah.
different situation. So it fell for him right tonight, but you can definitely see the discrepancies in clutch time coaching, that when you see a coach dial up a play that works and kind of keeps the team on code, they're not prepared during the clutch time. I don't even know if they practice it, but it appears like
They don't.
they're not practicing clutch
They
time
don't.
basketball, and it's a shame. And that's Willie Green, 4 years in, and that's why he needs to go. But
Yeah.
last thoughts before we get on up out of here, Lex.
Yeah, Jay Carval, he made a good point. It took Trajan one try to get the right coach, and Griff about to get his fourth chance. Crazy work.
He's incompetent.
I'm hoping he doesn't get that chance though. Like, because that is something's wrong with that. You've been here for 6 seasons, and 4, 6. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the stability. Let's talk about that. It really hasn't been there.
No.
And that's just from a coaching standpoint. I'm not coupling that with injuries or anything like that. Dude, from a coaching standpoint, you have not had stability. And
Not even close.
I don't care in what setting or like where you are in life, stability is important. Having stability is very important. I mean, it just having that consistency and having a foundation is very important. Like, not just for a business, but just your personal life. So, I mean, I wouldn't want him to pick that fourth guy. First of all, the man is cheap. And I feel like, again, he's going to be offering crumbs, just like he did with Willie Green. He's going to be offering crumbs. He's going to say, hey, you got to keep the assistant coaches. I feel like he's going to do that. He's going to do exactly that. We already know what this dude is about. He doesn't want a strong head coach with this team. He wants someone who is a pushover, who he can control. That's a problem. That's not what's best for the organization and most definitely the supporters who are supporting this organization. That's not right.
Right. Lex, you're hitting on it, and that's something we've often kind of talked about here. I've pinpointed ad nauseum David Griffin's mental issues insofar as what he's doing. It's very weird, and I've spoken to it. This excessive need to build this basketball family crap. This is a business.
Yeah.
We need people that's here to win. We don't care about them being cool. If they're friends, cool. But when you're losing and you're not, over a year, and then you're using these excuses about injuries, and it gets tiresome. So I mean, it's very weird, the type of stuff this guy does, and unfortunately, there is his bosses are entirely incompetent. It's a very outdated and weak, antiquated system they operate on, where they have some weird hierarchy, but they over rely on the third guy in the building. It's David Griffin, and then and for the Saints is Mickey Loomis. They over rely on these people and put all the decision making ability in their hands, when that should not be the case. This should at least be a committee approach, and he doesn't need to have that much influence over the team if you have a general manager. But you got this guy that's a janitor that's operating as a general manager. He don't do any press conferences. He's weak. He's weak. He's flimsy. Both his wrists are broken. So So anyway, I ain't gonna go there. But the thing is, it's just very weird and sickening. So they have this very weird, flimsy, beta male-ish energy over the team, where they don't even much want to use aggressive verbiage. They got 9 aggressive verbiage all in the practice. He doesn't use violent verbiage. He talks about force and pace and all this other kind of stuff. He shies away from it. And Willie Green is a yes man if I ever seen one. I ain't gonna even lie to you. That dude is the epitome of a yes man.
He ain't lying.
I'm just being honest with you.
He ain't lying.
Yeah, that guy is a company man through and through. He'll do whatever David Griffin tell him to do. If he tell him whatever you do, he tell him, Willie, bro, I'm gonna need you to get a nose job. Willie will go and get that damn nose job. You know, I'm just
You know what?
anyway, we're gonna just cut it right there.
His face does get on my nerves. So.
Willie, we're gonna need you to go to the doctor and see about getting that raccoon mask off you, brother. We're gonna do that first. And we're gonna have to then follow up with the nose. I got the doctor here.
He is not getting no sleep.
Nah, he ain't getting no sleep. That mask is getting darker and darker by the day.
He sure is.
So all right. So with that being said, we're gonna get out on that. Listen, I appreciate y'all. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all. Michael, Jaden, Jedi, Connor, big ups to you. I see you, Milton. Shout out to you, man. Brother Don Guillory, Big Smoke Dog, and everybody. I see you, Nola, baby. Kevin Conley, shout out to you, my man. Appreciate you. Brother Stacy's in this thing as always. Charity, baby, in this thing. TFP, big ups to all y'all, man. Appreciate you. What's up, DJ? J. Carv, shout out to you, my brother. Appreciate you. We're going to get on up out of here, man. What's up, Kevin? Shout out to you, Kevin. I see you, fam. Appreciate you as well. So with that being said, man, Pels get the W tonight. We will return on Thursday as the Pelicans get ready for the matchup against Orlando Magic. We hadn't beaten them in a while, but with Zion appearing to get through the minute restriction and the Pelicans playing this way, anything is possible with this team, man. Anything, especially if he doesn't have a minute restriction. That kind of changes things for us. But anyway, with that being said, we'll be back on the next one. Y'all hit the like button and the subscribe button. We're going to holler at y'all on the next one. Much love and go Pels. Peace.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that. Birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. Ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and do best, show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's up, then don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumper where the dame late, punch a train. Post game, Big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the refs just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever, Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly die, I'm a Pelican forever, Pelican forever.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. Remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and Who That too.